What's up, everybody? Tony Pizza Guy here. We are live with the WWE Battleground live stream. Let me make sure I got Project 9 Gaming on the line. What's up, Project 9 Gaming? You here?
What's going? Yeah, I'm here, man. How's it going, man?
It's going great. Excited for Battleground. Although it doesn't look like that good of a preview, we could see some great moments from tonight.
Most definitely. What are you looking forward to the most, man?
Well, we'll run down the full card in a moment. I do have to do a few things before we do get right into the stream. I have to let us know to follow us on Twitter and use the hashtag WWEBG. There's a link in the description. If you click that to tweet, we will be able to know that you are interacting with the live stream. It'll send it out to all the people that are watching. It'll help us out, and we will let you know that coming Hell in a Cell, we have a lot of stuff in store for us when we do these live streams. We're going to have a huge giveaway, including pay-per-view codes, G Fuel, and all kinds of great stuff. But today, just use hashtag WWEBG. We'll have some live tweets on the screen. Project 9 Gaming will be our Twitter ambassador for this great episode. And again, we got to let you know to follow us on Twitter. You see at Tony Pizza Guy, that is my Twitter handle, and at Project 9 Gaming. It's very simple. That's our names. Go follow us. And if you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, make sure you do now. YouTube.com/TonyPizzaGuy and YouTube.com/Project9Gaming. Now, before we start this live stream, run down the card and all the great stuff that we're going to be doing. I do want to let you know we will open the phone lines in just a second, but let's throw out our sponsors, our two sponsors of the day. We are sponsored by Machinima and G Fuel. So let's throw those sponsors. We'll get right into the live stream. Alright, our main sponsor is Gamma Gamers. That's right, I'm an official part of hashtag Team Gamma. If you want to save 10% on your entire order, if you haven't ever tried G Fuel, give you that energy, focus, and determination to get you through those long gaming sessions, use gfuel.tonypizzaguy.com. Again, I have a 10% code. Use the code TPG, and you'll save 10% on the entire order. All right, Project 9 Game, you ready to get into this? Let's run down the card.
Yes, sir. So,
Battleground.
not a problem. So, we are actually going to kick off with the Dolph Ziggler versus Damien Sandow, which is the pre-show kickoff match. And then we are also going to see Santino Marella and the Great Khali versus the Real Americans. We have the Divas Champion AJ Lee versus Brie Bella, Kofi Kingston versus Bray Wyatt, and Intercontinental Champion Curtis Axel versus R-Truth, Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus the Tag Team Champions Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. And then, of course, we are going to see a Battleground Hardcore Rules match between Alberto Del Rio versus Rob Van Dam, CM Punk versus Ryback, and then, of course, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship.
All right, before we get into this show, we'll talk about the matches. We'll just give our quick predictions, and we'll also do, this is from WWE.com because I do show it on the screen right now. We're going to do some what the fans think, because WWE.com has a lot of voting options where you can vote, do you think this guy's going to win or this guy's going to win? So we'll get into that when it has it for WWE.com, but we'll run down this. On the kickoff match, Damien Sandow and Dolph Ziggler. This one kind of surprised me. I thought it would actually make it onto the main show, but it's a pre-show kickoff match. I think that either way, it doesn't really matter. I think maybe Damien Sandow needs to go over just to show that he is a future World Heavyweight Champion contender. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I agree 100%. You know, both guys have been losing a lot lately, but the thing is, with Damien Sandow being the guy that could potentially be the World Heavyweight Champion, they got to do something in a way that's actually going to make him look like a strong future champion. And putting him over on, you know, Dolph Ziggler, I think is the best way to do it. Yes, it kind of sucks because if both guys lose, you know, it really does kind of hurt their career a little bit, especially because they're both on the pre-show. But I can see, you know, Damien Sandow pulling off something pretty nice to end the match.
All right, then we're going to get into Santino Marella and the Great Khali versus the Real Americans. I think this one was just announced on WWE.com. I don't really think it was even announced on SmackDown, to my knowledge. Saturday, I was making the pay-per-view live stream simulation, setting it all up, and for whatever reason, it wasn't on the card, so I think they just added it today. But I was thinking two things. Number one, it's a given that the Real Americans are going to win. And number two, I was kind of upset that they even put this match on there. But then again, I always like when they use the tag team division. I think the tag team division needs to be more prominent, featured on television, and I think adding this match is good. Obviously, I see the Real Americans going over. Any thoughts on this one?
I do agree with you with the Real Americans going over in the match. I think the one thing that's going to be interesting, though, most definitely with this match, you know, with like the tag team division, whether or not they're actually going to push Santino Marella and Great Khali in tag matches. I'm not saying they're going to be tag champions or anything like that, but we're not going to be seeing the primetime players or any other tag team aside from, you know, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns tonight. So I do see Real Americans getting the win tonight. I just wonder what's going to, you know, be the future for this tag team division.
Right, of course. And now we have the Divas Champion AJ Lee versus Brie Bella. This is just another Total Divas promotion. They could give this to Brie Bella just to promote the show, but I don't think it would really... she just doesn't seem like somebody who would be a contender for the title. Maybe that's just me. I think that possibly what could happen and what they should do if they wanted to do it, I think they should somehow lead this into an actual match taking place on Total Divas. I think if they had a match on the E-show, like say next Sunday, and the title changed hands on the Total Divas show, that would give me like a reason to tune in. But let me know what your thoughts are on this.
I actually, once again, I agree with you. I think I never really thought about it that way, having a match on Total Divas. But I think, you know, to increase ratings and stuff like that, that's definitely going to help. Now, the only thing I would like to really see in the Divas division, you know, I think like Naomi's a really good wrestler. She's been doing pretty well recently. I think it would be nice to see more people get involved, especially with Natalya. But the thing is, with right now with Brie Bella, you know, she doesn't have Nikki Bella by her side. It's just going to be kind of interesting to see. I think AJ Lee would get the win. But yeah, I think a Total Divas match in general would probably be the best way to kind of end this whole Total Divas AJ Lee feud type thing.
Right, and it's going to be interesting to see if Brie Bella is going to be involved in the main event at all. I know there have been, I don't know if these are rumors or people on the internet have been talking about it, but I've heard matches of Dana Bryan and Brie Bella versus Triple H and Stephanie. I don't know if that would ever happen, but something that I've heard on the, I think it might have been CM Pulse talking about it, or just some internet fans, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting if Brie Bella wins this and Daniel Bryan wins it. Could they be like a power couple, or who knows? I don't know. There's so much speculation, but we'll get right on to the next match with Kofi Kingston and Bray Wyatt. The tagline for this is nothing. At Battleground, two opposing forces will collide. Okay, that's the tagline. That's pretty much every match for Battleground. This one will be a nice way to show up Bray Wyatt as a strong talent going over Kofi Kingston. It's nice to see Kofi actually on the pay-per-view. He's usually been on the pre-shows, but
Yep.
it'll be good to see Kofi back on the main roster. I'm going to give this one to Bray Wyatt. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Bray Wyatt as well. I think he obviously needs the win. Whether or not Kane returns tonight, I think that could play a factor, because I think a lot of people would be shocked, if Kane did return and possibly chokeslammed Kofi or something like that, showing that he's kind of aligned with the Wyatt family in general. But Bray Wyatt getting the win, probably going to hit the Sister Abigail, a nice little, 8 to 10 minute match or something. But yeah, I think, it's a good thing that Kofi is on the main card as well.
True. I agree. Kofi's one of those talents that can be on the main card. I don't know if he's ever going to be a main eventer, but he's a great mid-carder. He can hold the IC title, the US title at any time, and he seems like a strong champion, even a tag team champion as well. Maybe someday he'll win Money in the Bank, since he's had such great ladder matches, and we'll have to wait and see though. But Kofi, great to see him back on pay-per-view. Bray Wyatt, got to get the win here, got to make him look strong. It'd be cool to see Kane come back.
Yeah,
help
definitely.
Bray Wyatt. I'd like to see that. Now we have Curtis Axel and R-Truth. This one is kind of, I don't know. The promo for Battleground, or Hell in a Cell actually, that's what it is. If you haven't seen the Hell in a Cell promo, it features R-Truth on it talking. He sounds kind of like Reverend Devon a little bit, but it's pretty interesting. So will R-Truth be getting a push? Maybe we'll have to see. Curtis Axel, R-Truth. I don't know. What do you think? Any thoughts? I don't really know on this one.
I'm going to be honest, this might, a lot of people might not agree with me, and they might, hate to agree with me, but I do see R-Truth getting the win. I believe this match is for the Intercontinental Championship, and, with Curtis Axel, the way that the storyline's been going with, Paul Heyman and stuff, I kind of see them just kind of dropping that whole project. And I personally don't think Curtis Axel even needs Paul Heyman. I don't think Paul Heyman really appreciates him as a wrestler. And I think if Curtis Axel, continues to just stay in the mid-card for about a year or whatever, and then wait until Money in the Bank and, possibly become a Money in the Bank guy, it allows R-Truth not only to win a mid-card title this time, but it allows both guys to try to elevate into the future.
That's true. That's true. And the one thing that I don't really like, and they do this a lot in WWE, is where they have, say, like R-Truth, how he just beat Curtis Axel in a non-title match on Raw. So then it makes it seem like he could win, but then he's not gonna. It just, I don't know. Whenever they do those matches that are non-title before the pay-per-view, I just get a feeling that they're not gonna win at the pay-per-view. That's just the feeling I always get with it.
Yeah, and I mean, I could see that for sure. It's just, I don't know. I think they've been kind of pushing R-Truth a little bit, and now, all these videos of him are going up, and I don't know. I think it's going to be kind of interesting, though, because a lot of people just don't know. Sometimes it's really easy to predict, and this one's kind of like, both options work.
And you always have to remember, because I always forget this, R-Truth actually had a WWE Championship match against John Cena. I totally forget about this, but it happened.
Yeah. Capital Punishment, I think?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that, but I don't know. I always forget that. R-Truth, and he's a former NWA champion in TNA in the early days, so there's that, but we'll have to see. Maybe R-Truth will be getting a huge push soon. I mean, I always liked this character. He can do... Even when he had the little Jimmy stuff, I thought that was some of the best stuff that WWE had done in a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, big match coming up. Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. And this was going to be a six-man tag match, but I guess Dusty Rhodes can't go that well anymore. But apparently, isn't this one, if Cody wins, he's back? Isn't that the stipulation, or how does this work?
So if Cody Rhodes and Goldust win, they actually both get signed to the WWE, in storyline, and basically they get to keep their jobs. Now, if they lose, they're actually fired, and they can never compete in the WWE again. So, kind of interesting.
And you know how those stipulations work. You'll never fight for the World Championship again, and then like a month later they forget about the story. But this one's going to be interesting. It'll be weird to see what happens. Some people are saying Goldust is going to turn on him and maybe join like the corporation or whatever they're called right now. I really don't know. I do see Dean Ambrose getting involved. We could see maybe Dusty Rhodes with a bionic elbow. That would be kind of cool if he could do that. Maybe to Dean Ambrose and knock him out. It'd be kind of fun to see it. But I see after this, if they want to do it this way, if they want to have Cody Rhodes come, I see him being the next good guy in the company, because having the Rhodes family, having him win over the Shield, then he's still got a nice feud with Triple H. Set up something with Orton maybe in the future, and Orton and Cody Rhodes have history as well. We could maybe see that. I don't know. I see Cody Rhodes being the face coming off of this pay-per-view.
Yeah, and I think it's weird because a lot of people have been mentioning Daniel Bryan and all of this corporation stuff, but if you look at it in terms of what Cody Rhodes has done and the focus on, Dusty Rhodes and Goldust, it just seems kind of obvious that Cody Rhodes is going to be that guy. And tonight, if he did lose, let's say they do lose and they don't get the opportunity to wrestle in WWE again, we all know what's going to happen. He's going to come back to the WWE, and it's going to make people want him to come back even more. So I think, I hope to see them win. I hope that Cody Rhodes and Goldust win. But like you said, too, if Goldust were to turn on Cody Rhodes, everybody's going to get that WrestleMania match that they've always been talking about. So
I think it would be kind of cool if you saw Cody Rhodes lose, and then he, has to go to, NXT or something, and he's, trying to get back into the main roster because, I don't know if you watched, JBL is just the new GM of NXT.
Yeah.
Triple H announced it. So if, he gets on there and then he's like, you know what, I really want to get back into WWE, so he has to go through NXT, and he eventually wins the NXT title or something. It'd be kind of cool just to see Cody Rhodes go to NXT, kind of help NXT out while building a nice character off screen, and then coming back as a huge face. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. Some fantasy booking that probably will never happen, but just an idea I threw out there. Now we have our World Heavyweight Championship match, which is Extreme Rules. They call it Hardcore Rules. I don't know why they didn't call it Extreme Rules, but whatever. Rob Van Dam, Alberto Del Rio. They have the vote on WWE.com. Who do you think is going to win? I'm going to vote for Rob Van Dam just to see what it comes up with. And 84% of the WWE universe says that Rob Van Dam is going to win.
I agree with the WWE universe, and the main reason for that is just because Del Rio hasn't really done anything too much as a champion. But I think Rob Van Dam too. I mean, I honestly see this being the time where Sandow cashes in. I think it's kind of early for Sandow to cash in, because usually cash-ins are a little bit later on, closer to WrestleMania or whatever. But I think with RVD, he's going to have the whole crowd behind him. He's going to come out and, do something pretty big in terms of the moveset, because it is a Hardcore Rules match. And I think that's kind of the best way to kind of switch the momentum. Now you have this face champion, and then Ricardo possibly turns on him for Sandow to cash in. I don't know. It's a huge possibility, though.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much going on here. We really never saw RVD as a good champion back when he won the ECW title and the WWE Championship, because he got in trouble for the speeding while weeding. So we never got to see that full championship material on see if RVD is one of those guys. But he is over. The crowd loved him. If you watch Monday Night Raw, the crowd was into it. The crowd loves Rob Van Dam. They love to chant ECW, and they love to see him do the Van Terminator, which hopefully we'll get to see it tonight.
Yeah, I think we will.
So that's an awesome match. Now we have CM Punk versus Ryback. This match I gotta give to Punk. I don't know. I want Punk to win. I want him to get back up to the main roster, but it seems like Punk always floats around in the main event. He's like a second main event. It's like you have the WWE Championship match, and then CM Punk, is going to be in a good match. And these two have actually had matches before over the WWE Championship. Am I correct with that, right?
Yeah, it was like Hell in a Cell or whatever before.
Yeah, they had that Hell in a Cell match, and we'll have to see, though, because Ryback, now a Paul Heyman guy, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be kind of weird because we've seen this match so many times, but now it's kind of swapped, because CM Punk is the babyface and Ryback is the heel. And I think, with Ryback being this heel, I don't know if they would kind of change his momentum or switch it up, and it depends. I could possibly see, Curtis Axel trying to possibly get involved, and then CM Punk fights off Paul Heyman, and then fights off Ryback. I mean, that's a good story for CM Punk, to go into Raw saying he pretty much defeated all three guys. But at the same time, too, Ryback kind of needs another win, because if he doesn't get a win, then this whole thing of him becoming a Paul Heyman guy might not make as much sense either.
Right. I don't know. I could see this one ending in a DQ or something, but again, Ryback does need to be a strong Paul Heyman guy. And again, Punk, I like to see him. It doesn't matter because you see CM Punk, even if he loses, he'll still look strong. It's CM Punk. He can't be buried at this point in his career, I don't think. I think whatever Punk does, he's always going to be a main eventer.
Yeah, I mean, he's so over with the crowd and everything. Like, every time he has a new T-shirt or whatever, people buy it. So it's kind of obvious. You know, people really like the guy. And I think just in general, too, I think it's going to be a good reason to continue this storyline. I don't know if it's going to end, you know, tonight at Battleground. I kind of hope it doesn't, because I think CM Punk winning or even Ryback winning would just come up with a greater story in the long run with Paul Heyman and possibly even Curtis Axel if he gets involved anymore.
True. I could see Paul Heyman recruiting, like, okay, Ryback beats him now, and then he goes up again, and then whatever, he defeats Ryback, and then Paul Heyman just like goes through like a ton of guys trying to find the new Paul Heyman guy to defeat CM Punk. Like, that could be kind of a cool storyline. Like, Ryback's in now Ryback doesn't work, so we get somebody else, and then that doesn't work, we get somebody else, and then they could just do that for months and months leading up. I don't know what the main end would be, like the main Paul Heyman guy would be, but it would be kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe like bring in The Rock as the next Paul Heyman guy, heel from Hollywood. He comes back. I mean, Rock could get over as a heel since he just left.
Yeah.
And then Paul Heyman, I don't know. Just a big thought, but we'll have to see what happens. We'll get into Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton. We're going to go to the vote. I'm going to go Daniel Bryan voting with this one, when honestly, I don't think Daniel Bryan will win. But I'm going to vote. 73% says Daniel Bryan, and 27% says Randy Orton out of 179,000 votes. The way I see this going, if Brie Bella is going to get involved, and I've heard people say this on Twitter, I've said it myself, but I think Brie Bella comes out and throws in the towel for Daniel Bryan, costing him the match. Daniel Bryan's really not done with the match, but she throws in a towel, not really screwing him over, but she's just like, no, Daniel Bryan, you're getting hurt, and she wants to save him. Either that, or Randy Orton brings back the punt and knocks out Daniel Bryan.
It's two really good options that you brought up, and now that you throw Brie Bella into the equation, right? Because we're still not sure on Big Show. Now, Big Show could possibly play a big part in this match.
True, I totally forgot about him. He's a wild card.
Exactly, and I think he's a wild card. And even with Brie Bella, you know, getting into the situation, what if she actually tries to help Daniel Bryan, and you know, Stephanie McMahon or Triple H stop the match, and I don't know, for whatever reason, they tell Big Show to knock her out. And he actually does it. Daniel Bryan gets distracted. You know, he's tired. He goes after Big Show. Randy Orton possibly hits him with a punt or whatever. I mean, it's a really weird booking and might sound strange at first. And maybe it's just the way that I'm wording it. But at the same time, too, Big Show would get over so much as a heel because he just knocked out a girl. And, you know, Randy Orton just won the match pretty much. I mean, it wasn't fair, right, because Daniel Bryan got distracted, but he still wins the match, and he's still the face of the WWE. And then it still allows Daniel Bryan to go over Randy Orton, possibly Hell in a Cell or Survivor Series or whatever pay-per-view they extend it to.
All right, and the one other thing that I was going to say is I could see Daniel Bryan putting the yes-lock in, Randy Orton taps. Then we find out that Randy Orton's foot was under the bottom rope, and it goes back to being stripped again. I just see them... I don't know. I like the storyline of Daniel Bryan almost catching the title and then he gets screwed again. I don't know. It's very good because when he eventually does win the title, it'll be so good and they'll be so happy and the fans will love it. And if they screw him again at this pay-per-view, or you know he puts him in the S-lock, taps, his foot's under the rope. They did this with Benoit before in WCW, but if they did that, I think that would be perfect. Then you would want Daniel Bryan to win it again. They would hold up the title again, maybe even like his foot's under the rope, taps, then Triple H immediately comes out and says, no, restart the match. And then, you know, Daniel Bryan's arguing with Triple H, turns around to RKO, Randy Orton wins, something like that. I don't know. So many crazy predictions, but I think we should get right into the matches right now. We'll put the number on the screen. You can call in at that time. Let's get the game on the screen right now. There we go. Game is on the screen right now. Again, I do want to let you know when it's on the screen, you can call in. Let's start this up. One other thing I want to do here, save it. Let me throw this up. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Tony Pizza Guy, at Project 9 Gaming. Use the hashtag WWEBG. We'll go to your tweets. You know what we could do? Let's do this. Before we start it, let's see what people are saying on Twitter. Do you want to actually go over to Twitter and be our Twitter ambassador real quick?
Yeah, I'm actually taking a look at a couple tweets, and at the Hate Bronies used hashtag WWEBG and says, if the storyline between Daniel Bryan and Triple H go on, who do you think will come back to Raw and try to stop them?
I don't know. I don't know.
It kind of plays into the part where Cody Rhodes could come back, but at the same time, kind of thought about it earlier. What if Hulk Hogan came back, or what if someone who hasn't been in the WWE in a while just came back and took all the attention off Daniel Bryan? I don't know.
Hulk Hogan returns. Yeah, right.
Comes back and hits Randy Orton with a leg drop.
Do you imagine this? Hulk Hogan. Okay, Daniel Bryan finally wins the title. Hulk Hogan comes out, leg drops, and beats Daniel Bryan for the title. Buries Daniel Bryan. That would be the worst.
WrestleMania 30, man, brother.
Oh my God, that would be so bad. I would be so mad if that happened.
Yeah. Well, that's I don't know. That's a total another discussion, I guess.
Right. We are just looking at your tweets. Use the hashtag WWEBG on Twitter. I have the live tweets on the screen right now. Again, you can follow us at Tony Buttes Guy, at Project 9 Gaming. You'll get into the tweets as soon as they pop up. We're going to leave this tweet on the screen right now. Let's get rid of this overlay here. Which one do I want to get rid of? This one? No, not that one. That one. There we go. All right. So we have Dolph Ziggler coming out. Let's skip his intro because we don't want to see it. And then Dolph Ziggler, Damian Sandow kicking off the show. We'll just leave Twitter on the screen. It doesn't seem like it's updating right now. I don't know how fast tweets are coming in. Oh, we have some more tweets coming in. Triple H pedigrees Cody and Shield wins. Hashtag WWEBG.
Ooh. Go ahead.
I could see that going down. It sounds like a real option that could actually happen, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's weird because Triple H is playing the part of the COO who is kind of involved with Daniel Bryan's situation and now Cody Rhodes' situation. I mean, Cody Rhodes, if he loses to Triple H, this could potentially bring back Vince McMahon to be the face and pretty much disagree with all the things that Triple H has done that was best for business.
Here's a funny tweet. I want HHH to descend from heaven and yell, "Ugh!" and Daniel Bryan gets distracted.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Damian Sandow cashed in Money in the Bank last night at a live event. I was there. Is that true? Is there any truth to that? That's what Frost Nick says.
I have yet to hear anything about that. The only thing I could think of is if maybe he attempted to cash in, but if he really truthfully did cash in, we would have seen something breaking news from WWE or some sort. Because they've done that before where someone's won the championship at a live event, and then they would announce it on Twitter or whatever.
I still think we see Bryan HHH, then we'll see Show and Orton for the title at Hell in a Cell. That's what somebody said. I don't know.
There's so many different options. Like, they could just swerve everybody.
Here's one. What do you think about Christian? Do you think he'll come back tonight? I don't know. I don't see a high hope. I don't have high hopes for Christian right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's battling injury like every 2 weeks.
What we're doing right now is we are taking your Twitter conversation. Use the hashtag WWEBG. That's the best way. It's popping on the screen. We're reading them as they come in. We will take some calls here a little bit later in the show, but we're going to just do the Twitter conversation because that's what is working right now. Big Show will knock out Orton and Triple H for a show at Hell in a Cell. Orton gets a rematch at Hell in a Cell. That's what people are saying. People are saying that Big Show is going to fight at Hell in a Cell, either Orton or Triple H. I don't know if Triple H is in a wrestling role right now.
I could see him fighting Randy Orton just because it makes the most sense in terms of like storyline, because COO is not being a wrestler right now, but you never know with Big Show. I feel like right now what they're doing is what they've been doing kind of when he was aligned with John Laurinaitis. So it's like, I hope it's not really like a rehash of that. I hope, Big Show stays as a babyface, but if he does become a heel, I hope that happens tonight, so that way he could actually kind of become like the obstacle for Daniel Bryan to eventually get, onto Randy Orton's title or whatever. Maybe what they can do to kind of take off the attention from Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton every pay-per-view, maybe have Big Show get involved tonight, Daniel Bryan gets involved in a match at the next pay-per-view where it's Daniel Bryan versus Big Show as a heel, and then once he gets through that obstacle, he's pretty much gone against the odds. He's already beaten Randy Orton before, and maybe he versus Randy Orton at another pay-per-view. I mean, that's a possibility as well.
There you go. Let's see here. We got a lot of tweets coming in, so I'm going to try and read them because I kind of scrolled through fast. Private Pie 25 says, awesome live stream. Oh, God, there's so much coming in. Hope Nikki and Bree distract Randy Orton, so Daniel Bryan will win the title, but Trips will come out and vacate the title. Sandow cashes in after Del Rio gets him in the arm breaker for a bit, then go on his 90-day contract thing. So Rob Van Dam going away for 90 days, what people are saying.
Yeah.
I want Axel to put his title up against R-Truth, which he is. Roman Reigns spears Cody Rhodes, and Cody and Dusty to win by DQ. Bryan versus Triple H at WrestleMania 30, that's a good one. RVD wins the title and Sandow cashes in. Thanks for using my logo and graphics, says Bradley Graphics. Thank you for providing that. Let's see here. Do you think R-Truth will win the IC title? And there's so much coming in. Holy crap. RVD for world champion. Sheamus comes back and bro kicks Bryan and joins the corporation. That's a bold one, but I like it. Dolph Ziggler beat Damian Sandow in this opening contest right here.
Oh, there's Biggie Langston. Hashtag WWE BG, have Biggie attack Punk post-match, and he is the new Paul Heyman guy. Hashtag main event push. I don't want to say there's going to be a lot of new Paul Heyman guys coming through every pay-per-view or every week or whatever, but kind of like what you mentioned, you know, with the new Paul Heyman guy possibly having like The Rock or something, maybe Biggie Langston being this big guy, that's also a possibility as well.
Do you think that show will turn heel or the Shield turns? Let's see. I don't know. What do you think? HHH screws over Bryan. Bryan versus Triple H Hell in a Cell, and Miz versus Randy at Hell in a Cell. I don't see that one going. Miz and Randy. Ew. I don't want.
Has Miz been involved with Randy Orton like past few weeks? I know he got injured from Randy Orton, but anything more than that?
Yeah, that's about it. I think he's. I don't even know, but that's the last that I remember his involvement with it.
Okay. That would be interesting. Maybe, I mean, in terms of the match and stuff, I'm not really too much of a big fan of The Miz, but I think the more superstars that do get involved will ultimately end to a better result for pretty much all the baby faces, so they could just elevate more than one person.
Right, of course. And here we go with this tag team match that was impromptu. The Great Khali and Santino versus the Real Americans, Antonio Cesaro and Jack Swagger. Again, use hashtag WWBG. Your tweets will come on the screen as they happen. Probably after this match, because this is another filler match. After this match, we'll probably take the phone calls, open the phone lines. That's the best way to do it. But now we're taking your Twitter conversation because we want to give you more than one way to interact. Some people don't like talking on the phone. You know, some people do. If you want to talk on the phone, you can. If you just want to tweet, it'll come up on the screen. We'll talk about it. So make sure you do that. And there is a click to tweet in the description below. If you click that, that lets us know you guys are watching the live stream. Sends it out to all your friends, and it's a good time. So make sure you join in on the conversation. Hashtag WWBG. Follow me at Tony Pizza Guy and at Project 9 Gaming. All right, that was a mouthful, but we're getting in here. Jack Swagger coming out to the ring at Battleground. If you want to know where I got this Battleground ring, I just went on Community Creations, search Battleground, and that's how I found it.
Seems kind of hard, huh?
No, it's pretty simple. It's easy. Oh, Santino tagged in the Great Khali right away. What a nice way to start it off. All right, we got some tweets coming in. Oh, well, a lot of tweets coming in. Oh, I can't keep them out. That's why you got to tweet often, because there's a lot of tweets. Big Show knocks out Orton and Bryan, somebody says. Hashtag WBG. Dang, there's so much. Maybe the winner of this will fight Damian Sandow. What? Oh, maybe the winner of this fight will be Damian Sandow. Okay. Somebody's prediction on the first match. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Let's go back. Let's read some. Del Rio loses, says Poe SE1. Rio loses and Sandow cashes in. Shield loses and HHH throws him under the bus and then costs Orton the WWE title. Orton sets up the punt, and out of nowhere, Shawn Michaels Sweet Chin musics him, so Bryan wins the title. There's that. Is
this match no disqualification?
This is not no disqualification.
Okay.
But Triple H could change it at any moment.
Yeah. I mean, that could happen, or, you know, just pretty much another referee situation.
All right. Here's one from Cesaro turns on Jack Swagger, and they have a great feud. Also, is it possible to call from Germany? Yes, you can call from Germany. Hoping the Shield beats Cody Rhodes. There's that. I don't know. I'm not going to read all these tweets because there's a lot coming in. But we'll just discuss this. As any cool tweets come in, I'll read them off. We have the live ticker at the bottom of the screen. Some people saying that HHH or HBK will get involved. That's what people are wanting. Could be kind of cool, you know, because he trained Daniel Bryan, so there's that.
Yeah. Actually, I just got a personal tweet on my Twitter from Chase4AXW, and he says, hashtag WWEBG, WWE has to push Cesaro. He's the current day William Regal. Hopefully he doesn't get screwed like him. That's, you know, you never know with guys like, you know, Jack Swagger and Cesaro. They were kind of like randomly thrown into the tag team division or whatever. There's so many things to talk about. It's hard to just say it all because, you know, there's so many different options. And I like, you know, I think with everybody tuning in on Twitter using the hashtag, I love the fact that everybody's getting involved because there's a lot of things I may have never thought of yet, but you guys have thought of something that actually makes, you know, pretty good sense. So make sure you guys bring those tweets. Use the hashtag WWEBG.
I do think that Cesaro, as much as I don't want to knock William Regal, but William Regal didn't really do anything besides win King of the Ring. He never had that WWE title, which I still think that William Regal is good enough. Every time he shows up on television randomly, the crowd loves it. I don't know. People love William Regal, and I think that Cesaro being named a current-day William Regal is a good thing. I think Cesaro is ready for the mid-card title. I mean, he had that title, but I think he needs to get back into the mid-card title. Maybe something with Curtis Axel would be cool. But he's a heel right now, so we'll have to wait and see. Cesaro hopefully gets a push. I think he's one of those guys that is ready. Sort of like Wade Barrett. I always thought Wade Barrett was ready for the main events. What?
Is he being repackaged right now? Like, have you heard anything about that?
I'm not sure. I don't know. The only thing that I know is that he has the catapult finisher in WWE 13, which looked amazing.
WWE 2K14.
2K14, sorry. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right. Orton loses, then Shield beats up Orton. Triple H tells Sandow to cash in for the WWE Championship. I don't think that. I don't know. I could see Sandow being part of like the little group or whatever.
He can't get involved with the match though, with the briefcase, can he? There's like no clarity on that.
If Triple H says yeah, then he can do it. You know, Triple H does whatever Triple H wants.
Best for business.
I can't believe this match is still going on. I purposely put Santino's and Colley's health down at 60%, and they're still beating up the Real Americans.
That's not a good sign for tonight.
That doesn't say much for anything, but... Alright, I think it's time that we take the Twitter off the screen. We'll go back to Twitter in a minute. I feel like we need to get some calls going on here because there's a lot of people itching to call in, and I feel like we should open them up. Let's get the Twitter off the screen. Twitter's gone right now. Thank you for all your tweets. We'll go back to Twitter, check you out in a little bit. What we're going to do is we are going to put this phone number on the screen right now. If you want to call in, number is 619-618-0271. Again, 619-618-0271. Call in now. Phone lines are open. We'll add you to the call. You can give your thoughts on this. You can talk about anything you want to talk about for Battleground. I usually like to keep it match specific, but this pay-per-view is sort of like one of those filler pay-per-views, it seems like, so we'll just let you talk about whatever you want. There's not too many exciting matches. I'm not even excited for the main event. I don't know. Any thoughts on the main event? Excited for it? Not excited?
I mean, I'm excited for it, but I think the one thing that's happening too much is, you know, Daniel Bryan wins and then gets screwed, and I think they have to do something really fresh tonight because it is Battleground and there's not too much hype for the pay-per-view itself. And, you know, being that it is a new pay-per-view, what if they do something really, really big just to end the night? You know, a lot of people are going to tune into Raw. A lot of people aren't going to expect it coming. And that's what I'm hoping for. Because I am excited to see another Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan match. I mean, they always put up really nice matches and stuff, especially at Night of Champions. And I think, you know, from a lot of what these tweets have said and what you have said, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what actually happens.
All right, we have area code 503 coming in. Let's answer this one. Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
This is Bryant.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. All right. So WWE Battleground tonight, the first time ever for this pay-per-view. Any thoughts on this pay-per-view? Do you like the name Battleground? Let me ask you that first.
Yeah, I do, and I think that it should get some match type for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, of course. I heard the rumor that they were going to do War Games, the WCW match, but that one never actually panned out.
Yeah.
All right, what are your
I
thoughts?
think
Oh yeah, go
I
ahead.
think tonight there's going to be a heel turn. I don't know who it is, but there's going to be a heel turn. I know that.
All right, you think heel turn? Do you think that we're going to see anybody like a Goldust heel turn? Because that's one that I've been hearing a lot.
I actually think there was rumors. I watched this one guy's video. There was rumors that HBK was going to return. So I think that he possibly could turn heel, and I'm almost guaranteed on Goldust.
Well, there we go. That's some predictions. For the main event, any thoughts on that one? Who's going to come out the new WWE champion?
I think Daniel Bryan's going to get screwed. I think he's going to win, but it's something with Brie Bell is going to happen. I know that.
All right, and then last thing, I always like to ask people that call in, one crazy prediction that may or may not happen tonight. Anything crazy that you think could happen?
Maybe Matt Morgan.
Oh, there we go. That's the one. We heard it last preview. A lot of people said Matt Morgan, but now we hear it again. All right, anything you want to shout out or pimp out before we take another call here?
YouTube.com/Schmitz23C.
All right, thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
All right, what do you think, Matt Morgan? We heard a lot of people saying that he was going to be the next Paul Heyman guy at the last pay-per-view, but now we're hearing the name Matt Morgan again. Any thoughts on that?
Well, it's funny because I remember talking about Matt Morgan on the last pay-per-view stream, and I was so quick to say, I definitely see it happening and stuff like that because I think, being in that position, it'd be a good thing. Now, maybe Matt Morgan comes back into the heel position where he actually just goes straight up into the main event. Maybe he screws over Daniel Bryan, or maybe he actually comes in as a face and helps Daniel Bryan. I mentioned earlier kind of like the whole Hulk Hogan thing, and obviously I was joking when I said that. But what if you bring in a guy that we haven't seen in a while, which is Matt Morgan? I mean, it's very possible, but at the same time, too, I don't think this will be the pay-per-view that we see some big shock like that. With all the hype that it's had, I personally don't think it's going to happen, especially if, the buy rates aren't going to be too high or whatever.
What if Matt Morgan could be Randy Orton's muscle? He could be like his bodyguard kind of type character.
Then I say, get Triple H some boots and knee pads and let's do Evolution 2.0, No Batista, but you got Matt Morgan.
All right, there we go. Not Mark Jindrak, but Matt Morgan, he fits in just as well. Let's take area code 610. Let's add this one. Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
Yo, it's Chase.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
Good. All right, so we have Battleground tonight. First off, I want to ask you, do you like the name Battleground?
I don't really mind it. I mean, I don't think a name makes the pay-per-views matches do.
Right, of course. The one thing I'm wondering, though, do you think there'll be a second Battleground next year? Or do you think they'll keep this as a pay-per-view, or do you think this is like a one-off, kind of like Capital Punishment was?
Yeah, I think it'll be just a one pay-per-view.
Gotcha. All right, so Battleground, what match are you most excited for tonight, if you are excited for any matches?
Well, I honestly like every match on the card, but the one I kind of wanted to talk about was Curtis Axel and R-Truth.
Okay, sure, go ahead. What are your thoughts on that?
All right, well, originally I was just like, okay, so this is just for Curtis Axel to get more over, and then after I was thinking about it more, I figured, hey, they're trying to push Bray Wyatt, right? So you need a face holding the Intercontinental Championship if you want Bray Wyatt to get the title.
True.
So why don't they just put it on R-Truth? Bray beats Kofi, who was R-Truth's previous partner. That sets up a feud, Bray, R-Truth. Bray wins the title.
So you see R-Truth being sort of a transitional champion just to put it from one heel to another heel?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, there you go. That could happen. And R-Truth does have that promo for Hell in a Cell. I don't know if you saw that promo, but he was featured on that promo. So maybe giving R-Truth the title would be good. I mean, I don't know where you really go with Curtis Axel after losing the title, though. Any thoughts on that?
I honestly don't know. I mean, you could just drop him and put him in maybe just give him a feud with Kofi then, just have him and Bray change feuds. I mean, even though I don't want to see that happen, I just see that may be the only possible thing.
I mean, they could always do something with Ryback and Curtis Axel, or Paul Heyman and Curtis. I mean, he still has Paul Heyman, so there's a lot of options they could do with Curtis Axel. So I don't really see like him losing the title wouldn't be that detrimental to his career because you still have Paul Heyman in there. But that is interesting. R-Truth holding the title tonight, then losing it to Bray Wyatt. I think that could be good. Bray Wyatt definitely is ready for some sort of mid-card run. Whether we'll see Kane tonight helping Bray Wyatt or not, that's what the rumors are. Any thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't give a shit about Kane anymore.
That's
I care
true.
about the future. I look forward. I don't look back.
That's true. That's a good thought. I mean, Kane is coming, I think, near the end of his career, which will be good. I think Kane could have one last run or whatever. I think if you put Kane with Bray Wyatt, only to help Bray Wyatt would be awesome. I think that older guys like Kane, Christian, Jericho, those guys need to help build the future generation, like you said. Don't look back, only look forward. Got a guy like Bray Wyatt who's right up there. He's ready for the WWE mid-card status at least, maybe the main events, but we'll have to see. They need to develop his character a little bit more. But honestly, Bray Wyatt's he's a fresh new look in the WWE. His character is different than anything that's around right now, so I think they need to run with that. Kane would be a perfect guy that would help him since Kane's an established, former world champion. Helping Bray Wyatt would be great.
I thought that Kane didn't really let him have any spots at SummerSlam. It seemed like Kane just took control of the whole match, and it didn't make Bray look any good. 3 choke slams. Bray only hit one move, but he also didn't get to hit any of his signatures. It was just a horribly paced match, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I don't know that their styles really match. I mean, I don't know. Kane's kind of specific style, and he doesn't really go with a lot of guys. I mean, maybe that's why Kane hasn't been a main eventer as long as he should have been, because he's got a really long career, but his main event, he hasn't been in the main events that long. He's always bouncing back to the mid-cards, going for the tag titles and stuff like that. So Kane, he matches good with Triple H and stuff like that, but maybe Bray Wyatt just doesn't match well with Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had AJ Lee win the Divas match, which I'm sure you care a whole lot about.
I actually do. I'm hoping that I think that Bree's gonna win, because if they're gonna bring up Paige, where did I hear this earlier? I don't know. I heard it somewhere, and they were talking about how Paige should be brought up and face Bree. That way, there's a time gap in between Paige versus AJ.
Okay, yeah, there we go. That would be good. That does sound something that they would do. I don't think they should throw the Paige AJ match right away, like you said. Let's see. Brie Bella also. Do you think she's going to get involved in the main event?
Probably.
Do you think she'll cost Dana Bryan the title? Because that's the way I see it going down, is her costing Dana Bryan the title.
I don't know. I mean, I just see her, by her costing him the title, does that mean a disqualification? Because I just see it going down where she distracts Orton. Orton hits her. That gets Bryan all upset, and then Orton, wins that way.
I'm thinking kind of like an inadvertent costing, not turning on him, but oops, I did this by accident, and then Bryan's upset.
Yeah.
Or even
I mean,
the idea
see it going down where Cena comes in. I mean, this is my crazy thing. I think that Cena will cost Bryan the title. That's the ultimate heel turn, because Cena hasn't been able to do a heel turn because he knows that there's not a number one face to replace him. But now that they have Daniel Bryan, then you have a triple threat. That way, the feud between Randy and Bryan doesn't become stale.
True. One last thought though. What if Brie Bella comes out, costs Dana Bryan the title, and then we find out it's actually Nikki Bella who did it, and John Cena sent her out there? How about that?
That would be crazy. I'm pretty sure everybody would know, though, because of the boobs.
Yeah, I know. It's not like when they first came in, nobody knew. When they first came in, they could do the switch, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
It's been ruined.
It's
been ruined.
All right, I hate to cut this short. This was kind of a longer call, but we have a lot of people calling in. We have Bray Wyatt, Kofi Kingston on the screen. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about, pimp out, before we end this call?
Yeah, I just did a Battleground stream kind of like this one the other night, and it's on my YouTube channel, Chase4AXW.
All right. Hey, you had a nice tweet the other. Well, I remember that tweet. I forgot what it said though, but I can't.
I've had 3 nice tweets.
I forgot which one we read. We read something that was pretty good. I can't.
You read all 3, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, thank you for calling in. Check out his YouTube channel, and we'll take some more calls here.
All right, peace.
Thanks. All right, that was a pretty good call. We got a lot of insight there. I think a page will come up soon and join the Divas division.
Yeah,
We'll
I
have to see.
actually liked what he mentioned about, R-Truth being like the transitional champion too. I think that kind of works out. It would be interesting, right? Because Bray Wyatt and R-Truth have kind of had a couple matches before. So, I mean, if Bray Wyatt were to become a mid-card champion, I think this would probably be the right time to do it in terms of R-Truth winning and then transitioning off.
Right, all right. This area code 510 has been calling in. We're going to answer it. This one's calling in a lot. Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
Erica.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good, all right. So we have Battlegrounds tonight on pay-per-view. First thought, do you like the name Battlegrounds?
Yes.
You do like the name Battleground. Do you think it's going to be around for a long time, or do you think it'll just be a one-off pay-per-view?
One.
What was that?
One.
Just one pay-per-view? Okay. What match are you most looking forward to tonight?
Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton.
All right. Who do you think's going to win that match? Any predictions on that?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Yeah. Would you mute the live stream, because I'm hearing that in the background. That might confuse you when we're talking.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was asking, who do you think's going to win between Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan tonight?
Daniel Bryan.
How do you think that's going to go down?
Good.
So you think it'll be a good match? Do you think there'll be any interference from Triple H or Shawn Michaels or Brie Bella or anything like that? Maybe Big Show as well?
Yeah, Triple H.
So will Triple H help Randy Orton win the title then?
Yeah.
All right. Is there any crazy prediction you have for tonight?
No.
All right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we take some more calls? We have a lot of calls coming in right now.
Can you give a shout out to my brother's YouTube channel?
Sure, go ahead. What's his YouTube channel?
Cool Wrestling E1. The cool is with the K.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in. All right. The phone line has gone a little quiet right now, but make sure you do call in if you want to get your thoughts heard. 619-618-0271. I think we should go over to Twitter for a second just to see.
Yes, sir. I'm actually on Twitter. I'm on Twitter right now taking a look at a tweet. Now, this one is actually kind of long. It is on a like a format where you can't view it all. So I'm actually just taking a part of it. This comes from Josh in his tweet. He does mention Big Show is forced to KO Daniel Bryan, but instead he knocks out Randy Orton. I think that would be a good way to get Big Show involved.
That is true. That is true. All right, we have Chase4AXW just called in, says best called right here, hashtag WWBG. Again, keep using that Twitter, hashtag WWBG. If you could click the tweet in the description below. That lets us know you're watching, lets our sponsors know that you guys watch. Sponsors give us great stuff to give away to you guys, and Hell in a Cell will be such a great pay-per-view, plus a great live stream because we have a bunch of great stuff to give away then, but we can't do it today. And one other thing I wanted to encourage you guys to do is hit that like button if you are watching this. It lets us know that you guys tune in. Encourage us to keep doing more stuff like this. Sponsors love it. We love it. It's good stuff. So let's continue on here. We do have some more calls coming in. I'll leave the Twitter feed on as we take some more calls. But let's answer this one, area code 214. Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
This is Emil.
Hey, how's it going?
It's pretty good. I called for the Battleground live stream.
Yes, you're on the line right now. You're live, actually. I was going to ask you about Battleground. What do you think of that name? Do you like the name Battleground? Do you not like the name?
I do, but they could bring back like an old pay-per-view, like like Vengeance or something.
Yeah, I actually do like the name Vengeance. I think that would be a good one that they could keep around, but didn't think
Yeah.
they want to do that. What match are you most excited for at Battleground tonight?
I'm most excited for Randy and Danny Bryan.
Okay, and who do you think's going to win that match?
I would like Bryan to win, but I'm pretty sure Randy would to keep the rivalry going. Like, I'm pretty sure they could do lots of stuff with Randy and Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of possibilities to go with this storyline. They could do something with Big Show. They could do something with Bella. They could do something with Triple H, The Shield. There's so much possibilities with this storyline, and I kind of like it. I do think that we may see Daniel Bryan get screwed again tonight. Thoughts on that?
He probably will. Like, Triple H might interfere, and he'll call Big Show down to the ring, then the Shield, and he'll just surround Daniel Bryan and screw him over.
There you go. I like that. All right. Do you have any crazy prediction for tonight? Something that may or may not happen?
I would like to see like Cena, like if like Danny Bryan gets screwed over, Cena can probably like help against the Shield, and the Big Show might help against the Shield if he comes out.
All right, there we go. Is there anything you wanted to talk about before we take some more calls? Because we have a lot of calls coming in right now.
Nah, I'm good.
All right, well, thank you for calling in. I encourage you to call back all the live streams, and we appreciate your feedback.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, there we go. Got a lot of good comments from there. Funny tweet that went out. I don't care what happens at Battleground as long as Triple H says best for business at least 3 times.
Yeah, that's gonna happen though. That tweet is true.
That's so funny. All right, Kofi Kingston went over Bray Wyatt in this live stream. We're still taking calls, but I'm leaving the Twitter feed on the screen because it seems like it's pretty good. Tony, I'm pretty sure we don't need Vengeance and Payback. Come on. All right, well, someone doesn't agree with us. They don't like Vengeance. They don't like the name Payback. Well, there you go. Let's take area code 229. Let's add this one in here. Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
Hey, yo, what happened?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what happened?
Hey, can you mute the live stream? I hear a little feedback in the background. All right. All right, so we have WWE Battleground tonight. Do you like the name Battleground? I'm going to ask you that first off.
No, it's retardedness.
Do you think it'll be around for another year, or do you think this is the first and only time we'll see it?
No, they gonna bring back over the limit, cause it's retarded.
Yeah, it's kind of a dumb name. I don't know. And the promo package for it with John Cena and all the heroes that battled or something. I don't even know. I didn't like that promo at all.
I don't know, unless they gonna have like some dudes from the military army or something come shoot some guns or something.
Right. All right, so we do have a big card. There's 9 matches on the card tonight. What match are you most looking forward to?
I got a question for you first.
Yeah, go ahead.
You like big booty bitches?
What was that?
Do you like big booty bitches?
Big boobs? Is that what you're asking? What did you ask? All right, we're going to end that call. I don't know what that... What did he ask?
Big booty bitches, I think.
Okay, yeah. We're not going to have that on this call. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Let's get right through this. Yeah. All right, what's going on Twitter? Wyatt is about to lose, and then the lights go dark. Then bam, Kane returns. Plot twist: he's brainwashed by the Wyatts. All right.
I could see the whole thing of Kane coming back, but you know, with Kane returning, they have to have some kind of story behind it. So like maybe like a video package, because you know how we've kind of seen like the Bray Wyatt video packages where he's telling them, you know, he's there and he's kind of chilling on the rocking chair or whatever. Maybe they should have Kane kind of like with the lights off and like, you know, the Wyatt family, they're wearing the mask and everything and the lights are off, and then he, you know, turns on the torch or whatever, the lantern, and then you see Kane's mask or something. You know, maybe something small like that. Like maybe he doesn't even return. Maybe the lights just go off and they do that kind of like video package or whatever.
That could happen. That could happen. That'd be cool. I do want to let you know, well, you can't see that there, but I'll put that up there. There we go. Call in 619-618-0271. I just showed it on the screen real quick so you guys know the number. We're going to leave the tweets up because I think it's a good little feature to have the Twitter feed at the bottom, at least for this match going on. R-Truth, Curtis Axel for the Intercontinental Championship right now. We had a prediction that R-Truth is going to be a transitional champion. We may see it tonight. We'll wait and see, but we're going to take an area code 516. Let's answer this one. Hey, what's going on? Who is this? All right. Got a shy caller. Hung up the call. Let's take 832 area code. Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
This is Caleb.
Hey, Caleb, would you mind muting the live stream because I still hear it in the background?
Yeah, I just muted it.
Okay, cool. We're talking about Battleground tonight, and I've been asking everybody, and popular opinion has been that Battleground is a stupid name for a pay-per-view. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't like it.
Do you see it being a pay-per-view they're going to do every year, or is this just a one-time thing, you think?
I think that's going to be the one time.
All right. If you had to choose another pay-per-view name, what would you put in place of Battleground?
I'll probably bring back, like, either Unforgiven or No Mercy.
I like No Mercy. It still has even though it has a nostalgia from the video game, I think No Mercy is a good pay-per-view name, and they haven't done it in a long time. But Battleground, we have 9 matches, including the pre-show match. Which match are you most looking forward to tonight?
Probably the CM Punk Ryback match.
And do you see CM Punk or Ryback going over on this one?
I would want to see CM Punk win, but like probably have like Brock Lesnar return, but like have like either some other guy return like as he's walking down the ring, like maybe Goldberg, like he's walking down the ring and then Goldberg comes back.
That would be crazy. I know with the Goldberg DVD, I think it comes out on Tuesday. Is that right, or it's already out? I think it comes out on Tuesday.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they have a new Goldberg DVD that comes out, and they have a video package on the DVD that they actually uploaded to their WWE YouTube channel, and it actually says, at the very end of the package, says, what's next for, or who's next for Goldberg if he gets the itch to come back to wrestling. So it's kind of like, maybe we could see Goldberg come back. I don't know. I think it'd be cool to see Goldberg, but then we
Ryback.
Ryback Goldberg match. There you go.
Yeah, I just had to throw that in there.
Ryberg. Where do you see CM Punk Paul Heyman feud going after this match?
I would probably at Hell in a Cell just do a rematch of Punk, maybe Ryback and Punk, Ryback and Axel versus Punk and a mystery partner, and then go on a Survivor Series and have Team Punk versus Team Heyman and end it there.
That would be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool to see Ryback and Punk in a Hell in a Cell match again, since they had the one that involved the WWE Championship, and then they could bring it back where we know like everything switched, where Punk's now a face, Ryback's a heel. I think that would be kind of cool, but we'll have to wait and see where this all goes. As far as the main event goes, the WWE Championship, any thoughts on that?
No, I just want to see Show come back and, maybe knock out Orton.
All right, there we go, Big Show. And
but,
wait,
one thing on if they do a rematch at Hell in a Cell, imagine if like Brad Maddox or Paul Heyman screw Punk, because you know how Brad Maddox screwed Ryback last year.
Oh yeah, definitely. I totally forgot about that. That would be kind of funny, like role reversal, pretty much. All right, any crazy prediction you have? Something that may or may not happen? Something outlandish?
Probably after the RVD match, Damien Sandow comes out and says he's going to cash it in at Hell in a Cell. Because you know how Rob Van Dam's the only guy to say before he was going to cash it in?
Yeah. Well, there we go. All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we end this call?
No.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in.
All right.
All right. There we go. He's going to say he's going to cash in before he does it. There we go. Could happen. Oh, there's so much going on here. We saw Curtis Axel win and retain the title. It could happen tonight. A lot of tweets are coming in. Make sure you use the hashtag WWBG. I like it on the screen, but I don't know if it's too much. What are your thoughts on that?
I love it.
You like it? You like the Twitter feed coming in?
To be honest with you, I love it. I love actually all the interactivity, the interaction with everybody. I really enjoy it. Getting a lot of tweets, and I'm actually taking a look at one right here. This one comes from Frank, and he says, hashtag WWE BG. I could care less about the pay-per-view name. I care about the matches.
All right, there we go. And here's a good one that says, everybody says the U.S. title doesn't mean anything, but who wonders? It's not on the card. Ambrose could easily have 2 matches.
He could be the wild card of tonight's pay-per-view. He could get involved in 3 different matches if you want, and, you know, all of them would make sense.
That is true. That is true. All right, I'm going to let you take this call. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. This is area code 616 if you want to answer this one.
Not a problem.
All right, let's go ahead and... All right.
Hello, how's it going? Are you here?
Oh, nope, he actually left. All right, I was making sure you answered the call before I actually left. Let's remove this. Let's say at 516, you can... This might be the same person who called in before, but I'm not sure. You can answer this one.
All right, cool. Hello, how's it going?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good, good. So, you excited for tonight's pay-per-view?
I am somewhat, but not really, because name kind of stinks.
The name kind of stinks. Is there anything in specific that you're not really, you know, too happy about?
Well, I'm not kind of happy about, because I think the CM Punk Paul Heyman feud should have ended like 1 or 2 pay-per-views ago, and it shouldn't be going right now. But I'm kind of excited about the matches.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned about the pay-per-view, you don't really care for the name. Is there any kind of pay-per-view that you would like to see return, or kind of like a new name that you would create for a pay-per-view?
Well, a little while ago, I saw on one of the tweets saying on your stream, like, the name of the pay-per-view should have been like Hard Ground or something like that, because the name seriously stinks. Plus, I'd rather see pay-per-views like No Way Out or like Old School Judgment Day or Great American Bash kind of pay-per-views than this.
Yeah. Now, you know, I could definitely agree with, you know, a lot of people not liking the name and stuff, but just in general with the pay-per-view, I know you mentioned you're kind of happy about the matches that are on the card. Is there one match that you're really excited to see, and if so, what is it?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see CM Punk versus Ryback, but I had like a crazy prediction for that, like they will have I Quit match or something like that.
And do you think that'll happen at tonight's pay-per-view?
Yeah, I was thinking, because they're not getting that much hype for this pay-per-view, so if they get a huge match like this in, and then they show it on next year on Raw that we had this match on, then a lot of people will try to go back and try to watch the pay-per-view.
Yeah, definitely. Now, in that case, if it was an I Quit match, who do you think would quit?
In I Quit match, I think they will put, you know how Rock and Mankind did back in 1997? I think they will do something like that, where they will have like a voice of CM Punk saying I Quit, but CM Punk won't say. But in the back, I mean, in 1997, they had like the whole empty arena match, but I don't think they will have that. They will have like a huge Hell in a Cell match or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a First Blood match.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, being that the WWE is PG, I think that'd be pretty awesome to have a First Blood match, especially with CM Punk and Ryback, because they're so aggressive. Now, in terms of the pay-per-view in general, aside from that match, is there anything that you think might go down that we may have covered already?
I don't know, because you guys are like seriously hitting it on the mark. You're getting like what I actually think is gonna happen at the pay-per-view.
Cool, cool. So, is there anything that you might want to shout out or anything that you might want to say before we end the call?
Yeah, if anyone wants to, they can go on and look at my channel, Load and Morgul, and that's it.
All right, cool. Thank you very much, man, for the call. If there's anything else, just let us know. Make sure you're using the hashtag on Twitter, WWEBG.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you. Have a good one, man. All right, guys, so thank you for that last caller. I'm going to take a look at the Twitter chat until Tony comes back.
Oh, I actually just came back. I had to replace the batteries in my mouse so we wouldn't have a thing, and I was letting the call play out, and it went perfectly. All right, so this Gold Dust call is very crappy.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I actually just saw a tweet, and this one is hashtag WWEBG. Do you see Drew McIntyre interfering in the WWE Championship match, ... Hashtag gimmick change.
Here's one interesting tweet that I was going to say. I think WWE is trying to kill Ziggler's career. He goes from co-main event to pre-show in like 3 to 4 months. Hashtag WWBG. I don't see him killing his career. I think they only put him up against Damian Sandow for a couple of reasons. One, they want to make sure that people tune into the pre-show, and Dolph Ziggler being a former champion is good for the pre-show, and it's good for business. Now, heel Ziggler, he will probably go against Damian Sandow so that Damian Sandow can get a win against a former World Heavyweight Champion and make him look strong in case he does cash into Money in the Bank. That's the way I see it. I don't see them killing his career. I don't think the pre-show is really that bad. I mean, the Shield has been in the pre-show before. There's a lot of potential for the pre-show. Again, it's a way to get people to want to order the pay-per-view, so putting a guy like Ziggler in there is good. So I don't think it's killing his career. We'll have to see at Hell in a Cell or following events after if they're going to do anything with Ziggler, but
definitely.
It's kind of crazy. We'll have to wait and see. Let's take another call. Let's see. We got a lot of tweets coming in, a bunch coming in. Twitter's updating really, really fast. A lot of people saying Backlash needs to return, which I think is cool. Oh my, lots of tweets.
There is actually one that just caught my attention because there has been no mention today. But it does say hashtag WWEBG. Del Rio will defeat RVD and Rey Mysterio will make his return.
Well, there we go. We've heard the return of Rey Mysterio coming soon. I don't know if he's really going to return. There's been, since the beginning of the year, I think we've been hearing that Rey was going to return. He's going to return. He's going to return. And then if he comes soon, that would be pretty awesome.
Definitely. I mean, Rey Mysterio has to return sooner or later. So if you kind of want to, I guess, put Del Rio as a heel and bring Rey Mysterio back as a babyface, that's a good opportunity right there with Del Rio possibly retaining tonight.
Right, of course. All right, so we're going to take some more calls. One good tweet that says Batista comes in, drops a mic, and leaves hashtag evolution. All right, that's pretty interesting. All right, I'm going to remove the Twitter overlay for just a moment so you guys can see the match. We got Goldust, Cody Rhodes versus The Shield. I think Cody Rhodes needs to be the next face against Randy Orton. That's the way I see this playing out, so we'll have to see how that actually goes down. Let's take that off. Twitter's off the screen right now. We'll go back to Twitter in a second. I want to let you know, again, if you're just joining us, hit that like button and call in 619-618-0271. We value your opinion. We want to know your thoughts because sometimes you guys bring things to our attention that we don't even know, like R-Truth being a transitional champion for Bray Wyatt. There we go. That's something that we learned based off of calls tonight. I'll leave that number on the screen for just a little bit. Let's take area code 336. Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
Nick?
Hey, would you mind muting the live stream? Yes?
Hello?
Hello, hey, can you mute the live stream, please?
Huh?
Will you please mute the live stream?
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing the live stream and I can't hear you very well.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're good. Okay, so we have Battleground tonight. Do you like the name Battleground, or do you think it's a stupid name?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Alright, cool. And do you think that Battleground will be a yearly pay-per-view, or this is going to be the only time they're going to use Battleground?
The only time that they're going to use Battleground. Like, everybody knows that, dude.
Yeah, true. What pay-per-view would you put if you had to pick a different pay-per-view name instead?
I mean, I kind of like the idea of Velocity back in 2007.
Okay, there we go. Velocity, I like it. That's a show coming back for a pay-per-view. It's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, and Tony, I just wanted to make a word out. You make awesome videos.
Thank you. That is awesome. Thank you for calling in, because without people like you, I wouldn't even do this, because there's no point in making videos if people aren't going to watch them. People call in.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just wanted to make a YouTube account because I like yours so much. I just wanted to hit the like button like a million times.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for calling in. I do want to get your opinions, though. Any thoughts on what your favorite match of the night is going to be?
Hello?
Yeah.
What?
I was trying to ask you what match you're most looking forward to tonight.
Rob Van Dam versus Alberto Del Rio.
And who do you think is going to come out on top?
RBD is, but then I think Damian Sandow's gonna cash in his money in the bank and be the World Heavyweight Champion.
All right, there we go. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Because we do have a lot of calls coming in. I appreciate you calling in, but anything you wanted to shout out or pimp out or talk about?
Yeah. I just wanted to shout out that also that I would say you could make an extra match about like we could have like Justin Gabriel and Daniel Bryan after Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton, because I really want that to happen. Like, I just want to see that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, well, thank you for calling in. I appreciate you calling in. Thanks for subscribing and all that good stuff. All right, so Goldust and Cody Rhodes won that one by DQ, which is kind of a cool concept because if they do win by DQ, then they could not actually get a contract, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, or they won, yeah, because they're like, oh, well, you didn't actually win. It was disqualification. Triple H could screw them over, and they'd have another match, maybe like Survivor Series come up. I think they need to prolong this feud to Survivor Series.
And I think that could be like the main Survivor Series match, you know, having maybe the Shield and Dean Ambrose included, you know, maybe even Dusty Rhodes could be part of the team, or like I think last year they had like the captains or whatever. Maybe they could do something like that where he is the captain. Obviously, he has his kids, and then you never know. You're gonna get a team full of baby faces that we may have not seen, maybe Kofi Kingston or whatever, and then something big happens out of it.
That's true. We have our World Heavyweight Championship match right now. I actually do really like the idea of the captains. I think Dusty Rhodes being captain of Team Rhodes, and then you have Triple H captain of Team whatever. I don't know. You could have like the Rhodes and then Daniel Bryan on that team, and then CM Punk maybe. I don't know, but
yeah,
I think it'd be cool. RVD, Alberto Del Rio, Extreme Rules. Let's take a call. 347. Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Who is this?
Oh, my wrong number.
No. I'm just trying to get your name. Okay, whatever. Hung up. I was just trying to figure out what your name was so we can talk about it. All right. Anyway, let's take area code 323. Hey, what's up? You're on the Battleground live stream. Who is this?
Hey, this is Tyler.
Hey, Tyler. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. We have Battleground tonight, as you're familiar with. Do you like the name Battleground? Do you not like the name Battleground? What are your thoughts on it?
It's all right. I mean, do you remember the Survivor Series 09 commercial? I think it was 09 with DX, like with the war and stuff.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
I think if DX was still together, that'd be perfect for Battleground.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't really play on the theme Battleground too much. I mean, like the pay-per-view package itself was sort of kind of not what I expected.
Yeah, there's no sight of Ryback anywhere, but he's the poster boy, so. Yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of a weird pay-per-view. Do you think it'll be around for more than just this year, or do you think it's a one-off pay-per-view?
Oh, no, this is it. This is going to be like No Way Out for 2012.
All right, and then for Battleground, what match are you most looking forward to?
The World Heavyweight Championship match.
All right, any thoughts on that? Do you think we'll see Rob Van Dam capture the World Heavyweight title?
If that happens, then Damian Sandow will come out and cash in.
That's what everybody's saying. Nobody has faith in RVD holding the title.
I mean, if he does, that's great, but Damian Sandow is more than likely to go on.
Yeah, definitely. I could see that happening. And then do you think RVD will be gone? Because there were rumors a while back that RVD signed a short contract, and he was going to be leaving and coming back full time. Do you see that still happening, or do you think they have scrapped that and RVD has a full contract now?
I don't don't know. Either that happens or yeah. I mean, it's one of the two.
Right. I gotcha. All right. So the main event, WWE Championship, it is vacated right now. But do you think Daniel Bryan will get the title back, or do you think he'll get screwed over tonight?
Crazy bold prediction. Y2J comes back and screws Daniel Bryan.
All right. That's kind of a funny prediction. Y2J, I think he's out right now touring with Fozzy.
Yeah.
But him coming back, he can come back at any time and still be somewhere in the main events. So
Yeah.
Y2J would sort of join a corporation with Triple H,
and
the Shield.
the same thing with the Kane mask thing that Project 9 Gaming said. That'd be great.
Thank you.
that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I'd like to see Kane come back.
Yeah.
Kane possibly coming back to join the Wyatts, I think would be something cool. Like I said earlier, I think that Kane needs to help Bray Wyatt get over. I think that would be awesome.
And maybe even Undertaker can come back and they can do the Ministry of Darkness again.
Oh, that would be cool. I'd love to see that. All right, well, we have a lot of calls coming in here. Is there anything that you would like to talk about, pimp out, or shout out before we go?
You have great videos, and go and check out my my YouTube channel.
What is your YouTube channel?
Tyler Todd.
All right, thank you for calling in. All right, we're going to go over to Twitter real quick. We'll see what people are talking about. If you want to go to Twitter, catch us up on what's going on Twitter. Are you still here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm just taking a look at some of the tweets, and this actually does go back to the Rob Van Dam situation holding the World Heavyweight Championship. Do you think he'll ever gain prestige if he is the title holder? I don't know. I mean, it's such an interesting question, too, because we know RVD is a champion, you know, but at the same time, too, this is a very short return. So I'm not too sure if WWE truly trusts him, but yeah.
Right, and someone said RVD will lose Ricardo heel turn. I don't know. Didn't Ricardo just turn face?
He did. He keeps. It seems like he switches a lot sometimes.
This stream has been like the Raw after Mania. The callers that aren't me were hilarious, even though half of them have no idea of wrestling. Okay, whatever. All right, let's take area code 450. I'll leave Twitter on the screen because I think it's fun. I think it's interactive. You guys like to see it. If it's annoying, I apologize, but I'm going to leave it because fan interaction is what we like to do on this live stream. And let's see, area code 450. Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
Yeah, this is Tony.
Hey, Tony. I'm Tony. How's it going?
Not bad, yourself?
Good. In Project 9 Gaming, your name's Tony, right?
Yeah, actually, my name is Tony.
Oh,
Right,
what?
Yeah.
So we have 3
Okay.
Tonys in the building right now.
Yeah.
All right, Battleground. Stupid name or a cool name? What are your thoughts?
I would say 25% cool, 75% stupid, because it sounds terrible.
I like
you
that
know?
right there.
According to the WWE.com poll, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you had to replace it, what name would you pick?
Well, it wouldn't be like something new. I'd have to replace it with Backlash, because that was an awesome pay-per-view.
Yeah, that would be cool. I love the name Backlash. But again, Backlash seems like it fits perfect after WrestleMania, but they changed it all up and now things are weird. But Backlash is a good name. I also like the name Vengeance.
Basically, Payback was a PG version of Vengeance.
A PG version, yes, definitely. Battleground, though, besides the stupid pay-per-view name, what are you looking forward to at the pay-per-view?
I'm looking forward to the WWE Championship match and World Heavyweight Championship match.
And out of that, which match do you think will steal the show?
WWE Championship.
Gotcha. Do you see Daniel Bryan coming out on top, or is Daniel Bryan going to get screwed one more time?
Actually, I think that it's going to be like a double count-out or something, to be honest. And, like, Triple H comes out, says restart the match, make it no DQ. And then, like, after we have a winner. I don't have a specific winner on this one, but, like I said, I believe like, a double count-out might happen.
I think that's a very awesome idea. You have the double count-out. The Triple H will come out and restart it, and then you could have interference like, I don't know, Big Show or Brie Bella or The Shield or Triple H himself, something. I think it's a cool idea.
That like gave me the idea. Sorry to interrupt you. That gave me the idea. Like, Orton's ready to hit the RKO, then Brie Bella comes in, hits a distraction.
she's like, no, don't do it, don't do it. And then
Daniel Bryan hits the knee.
well, there you go. That's awesome. I like it. I just want to give you a heads up right now that Rob Van Dam hit the frog splash on a bloody Alberto Del Rio and won in the simulation. So there's that.
Yeah. So,
all right. Well, is there anything crazy that you think may happen?
inside the match with Kofi Kingston and Bray Wyatt, I believe, obviously, I'm saying that Bray Wyatt is gonna win, but for some reason, I have a feeling Bray Wyatt's about to hit Sister Abigail, and all of a sudden we hear a pyro and Kane returns, and then Kofi Kingston hits Trouble in Paradise.
There we go. That would be pretty cool. I could see that going down. That's not too far-fetched. A lot of people say that Kane is going to come tonight. Whether he's going to help Bray Wyatt or go against Bray Wyatt, nobody really knows yet. But definitely will be interesting to see what happens with Kane. Is there anything that you wanted to shout out or pimp out before we take some more calls here?
Yes. People might know me after I say this. My name is SoccerBoy619.
All right, make sure you subscribe, SoccerBoy619 on YouTube. Yes, I remember this name very well. I think you've been in a lot of my live streams when I used to do the Friday night fights and stuff.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, when will you do that again?
Probably once WWE 2K14 comes out, I'll probably bring that back so we can get more online interactivity.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you for calling in.
See ya.
Thanks. All right, so we have CM Punk and Ryback. Tweets are going off the chain right now. It always ends up with Chase 4 AXW.
I know, right?
I don't know why, but
I'm seeing a lot of those.
I love Sando, as you can tell by my profile pic, but when you think about it, what did he say? Who does he face if he cashes in? And JTG face turn tonight. I don't even know.
JTG's not going to be on this pay-per-view. I'm sorry.
I wonder if that website's still around. Is JTG employed or whatever? There was a website like that, and it just said, yes.
Really?
Yeah, there was a funny website like that. Is JTG still employed? And it's yes. All right, Punk Ryback on the screen right now. Let's take area code 347 calling in. I'll let you take this one if you want.
Sure, no problem.
All right.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hello?
How you doing?
Good. Is this Tony or no?
This is actually Project 9 Gaming, but my name is Tony, so
yes,
yeah.
I'm on the line here. This is Battleground. I'm letting Project 9 take this call. But what is
yeah.
Go ahead.
About Battleground, right?
Yes, yep.
Okay. Well, I think that probably between the match between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, we could probably see a Big Show heel turn. That's what many people are saying.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have mentioned Big Show. I've mentioned it earlier in this stream as well. But if Big Show does get involved, how do you think it would happen?
Probably the referee will be knocked out or knocked down somehow, how it usually is, and then Big Show probably come out, or probably Triple H will come out and make Big Show knock out Daniel Bryan somehow.
Yeah. I mean, I think the common trend that we have seen too with Big Show previously, and I know they've been doing this for the whole live events. They've kind of had Big Show stay and watch the main event or whatever. Do you think that's a possibility? Where maybe, I don't know, maybe Stephanie McMahon has Big Show watch the main event from the sidelines, and then that's possibly how he gets involved?
Yeah, I guess. Probably.
Yeah, because, I mean, now that I think about it, too, with Big Show getting involved, I think what should happen, and, I mean, I would love to hear your opinion, but if Big Show does get involved, if Triple H gets involved, it's going to be too much clutterness in the main event, so possibly have, guys like Big Show possibly being on commentary or something like that, and then the ref gets knocked down or something.
And then we and then the ref. What?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Probably that, but what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to ask you if Big Show does get involved, and if he does do the heel turn, how far do you see that going on, and what do you think the end result would be in terms of Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton?
Probably we could see Daniel Bryan and the Big Show in probably the next pay-per-view, probably, and then Randy Orton gets a new rivalry, I guess.
And who would you like to see in that rivalry?
Well, it depends, but it's really a hard choice. I mean, if CM Punk does beat Ryback, he could go in there, but I don't think they're going to be done with Paul Heyman. Probably it's going to continue to the Survivor Series, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Now, is there anything that you're not really sure could possibly happen, but maybe like a huge, bold prediction for tonight's pay-per-view? Something we may have not said already?
Well, I was gonna say about Ricardo turning heel. I mean, yeah, again heel, but that's I don't think it's gonna happen again. I mean, he just turned face, so there's no possible chance.
Do you think RVD will win the title?
No, not possible. I mean, it's a little bit too early.
Too early.
He just came back in July, and so I don't think he's going to win the title. Sorry for all those people who RVD fans.
Yeah, definitely. We are getting tons of calls and tweets. Is there anything that you would like to shout out before we go?
No, all I got to say is that I love Coded Pizza Guy's videos. I hope he keeps continuing doing more.
All right, cool. Thank you, man, for the call. Appreciate it. All right, have a good one. Bye.
All right, bye.
All right, I want to thank you guys for calling in. I let Project 9 take this. My voice is getting a little raspy right now, but still got a lot of stuff coming in on Twitter. If you'd like to see your tweet on the screen, use the hashtag WWEBG. I'll probably leave it up for the majority of the stream. I think a lot of you like it. You like to see your stuff on the screen. If you don't, we'll change it up next time. But this is just a test drive for the Twitter stuff. See how it all goes. Phone lines are still open. I will put the number on the screen one more time. Let's see here. We have 619-618-0271. Again, 619-618-0271. Ryback, CM Punk going on right now, simulation. We'll make sure to let you know how the outcome comes in the match. We'll talk about it because we've just been taking so many calls that we haven't really been focusing on the matches. But this match should be interesting. We had a couple predictions of maybe seeing Brad Maddox coming out and screwing Punk, you know, sort of the opposite way that happened when they fought the other time.
Yeah, the whole role reversal, and I think that's perfect, to be honest with you. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it's kind of it's the same, but it's different. You know, you got the role reversals. You now have Ryback as the Dick, as people call him on Twitter, the Dick Ryback, and then you have the face CM Punk, and it's very interesting with Paul Heyman. I think this Paul Heyman adds that one element that has been missing from wrestling in a long time. Have a manager who can transcend a superstar, so you have a Punk versus Heyman is awesome because you can get multiple guys to go up against CM Punk.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I mean, Ryback, both of these guys have a lot to gain with this feud. And I think, you know, a lot of people have also been mentioning it in the comments section because of the whole, like, proposal and everything. Mm-hmm. So it kind of seems like WWE is really investing in Ryback and Paul Heyman. And I think that's going to be kind of like the interesting thing because CM Punk is not really going for a title right now. He's not doing anything like that. So, I mean, I think any outcome out of this match can result in something good. And then I know someone mentioned, actually a couple people mentioned the whole thing of CM Punk possibly feuding with Randy Orton next or something, and that's how he could be like the top face or whatever. So I think regardless, I think this is probably one of the better setups as well in terms of hype. It's going to depend on the result and how they do it, because I don't want WWE to do the same route, you know, with Curtis Axel, just like kind of building up someone and then not really doing too much. And I feel like that's what they're kind of doing with Ryback at the moment. So they got to do something pretty specific and significant for tonight's pay-per-view in order to actually make something out of it, I guess.
Right. And there's a couple good tweets that I wanted to talk about as I saw it coming in. I saw Bryan accidentally hits Bree with the knee finisher, causing a distraction, therefore having Orton win. Bree needs stitches. And then there was another one that said something about John Cena coming back and forming sort of a corporate revolution, and Randy Orton holds the title until Cena comes back, and then you have Cena and Orton. Which I kind of like that idea, but
yeah, I mean, I think like without having John Cena's presence right now, like this pay-per-view is kind of lackluster because like the card is a pretty solid card in terms of like the matches we're going to see, but because the build isn't necessarily there, and with all this corporation stuff, you know, maybe there does need to be a face stable, if that makes sense. You know, maybe Cena does have to come back and kind of be the leader of whatever, you know. Maybe that's what needs to happen. I'm not really sure, but I'm totally up for, you know, John Cena getting involved as long as it doesn't take away from Daniel Bryan.
I do think, though, that they need to have, like you said, a face group. I think that they need to have Randy Orton kind of run amok in the WWE with Triple H on his side, so then John Cena has to come back and restore order. I think.
So who do you think would be in his babyface faction.
I don't know. You could even just have something as simple as Cena and Daniel Bryan go up against Triple H and Orton.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they kind of did this for WrestleMania 27. It was like The Rock and John Cena versus The Miz and someone else. Like, they had like that one tag match. Maybe it was like Survivor Series or something.
Survivor Series.
Yeah, so like maybe they kind of do something like that, I guess, in a way of like what you're saying, right? You know, with Cena and Daniel Bryan, and then Randy Orton and Triple H, or Randy Orton and, I don't know, maybe if Dean Ambrose becomes the single star out of the Shield, maybe like the Shield turns, you know, babyface, and Dean Ambrose is the one that stays as a heel and kind of aligns himself with Triple H, gets involved in this title picture somehow.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of options, and that's what's good about wrestling when they have a lot of stuff going on, that there's so many possibilities, and that's what keeps us tuning in every week, is the many different options they can go with here.
Yeah, and I think like I said earlier, that's the best part about, you know, the interactivity in the stream, because I'm looking at a lot of comments as well. A lot of people have been kind of mentioning, you know, the whole Drew McIntyre or Wade Barrett, or guys that we haven't necessarily seen in a while. And, you know, even with John Cena, it all makes up for something that could potentially happen. And a lot of people think, you know, we're going to see a huge swerve eventually. So, I mean, I think you're 100% correct in terms of wrestling and how, you know, it's always got us tuning in and stuff.
Right. I did just want to point out right now that we saw CM Punk win with a roll-up on Ryback. So there's that. All right, one thing I wanted to point out is that we're going to take the Twitter feed off right now because I want to check out something on the internet. We're going to take some calls here in just a second as we're getting into Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Let me take that off the screen real quick. I've been told that Cody Rhodes has a brand new T-shirt, so let's check that out.
Huh.
I don't know. I legit don't work here, so they can't be mad. Exclusive WWE shirt, different version. So it's going to be an exclusive WWE version of the shirt. Let me throw that up to you, Project 9 Gaming, let you know what you think of this shirt. It's kind of a not too cool of a shirt, but let's see what you think here. I'll send that over there. And let me save this image so I can plop it in so you guys can take a look at it really quick here.
Oh, man.
That's what he says he's going to wear tonight.
You know, I'm cool with that. I think it's weird because Cody Rhodes wasn't really doing anything too significant before this, and now, you know, like, even with the new T-shirt and stuff, it does show that they're kind of serious about them, you know?
Yeah, let me add this in. They say it's going to be like one of those exclusive shirts for only tonight or something, but here you go. There's the shirt right there. I couldn't get it any bigger than that, but you could take a look at it. It's Goldust, Cody Rhodes, and Dusty Rhodes. It's kind of a funny shirt. I don't know. It's cool. It's all right. It's a fun little shirt.
Would you wear it outside, you know, in terms of, I don't know, going somewhere, going to the store? Going
No, I would not wear that shirt. Sorry.
Because, you know, like, the design of it's kind of marketable, right? Because, like, it has all three faces. But I don't know, with, like, wrestling clothes and stuff, some stuff could actually be really cool. But that shirt kind of reminds me of, like, John Cena's The Champ Is Here shirt. Like, I probably wouldn't wear it at all.
It's funny if it's like a one-time exclusive shirt, but as far as like a main shirt, I don't see it going on now. All right, here we go. We got, let's see what's going on Twitter. A lot of going on Twitter. Got a lot of calls coming in. All right, let's just do this. We're gonna open the phone lines, leave the Twitter on here. Go through as fast as possible. Take as many calls as we can. Before this, we have Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. WWE Championship on the line, area code 678. Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
Hey.
Hey, who is this?
Ethan.
Hey, you're calling into the WWE Battleground live stream. Any thoughts on our main event, the WWE Championship, Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton?
I mean, honestly, I just see that obviously Randy Orton is gonna win. I do want Daniel Bryan to do something, but of course Triple H, his little extra business schemes gonna come in, of course. So it's gonna screw up something. So that's what I'm saying.
Right. Do you think that we're going to see something like where Daniel Bryan wins it, then gets the title taken away from him kind of thing? Because that's been the theme of Daniel Bryan, getting screwed over and over and over again. Do you think that's going to go down, or you think it's going to go a different way?
Obviously. I mean, that's exactly how I see it. So.
Oh, here's something I want to get your thoughts on. We're going to collaborate with Twitter. Someone says Shane McMahon returns and rallies the WWE locker room against the corporation.
Say that again. I can't really hear.
Shane McMahon returns and makes a team to go against Triple H's corporation. Possibly, maybe, no.
I don't know. I've never thought about that, so I can't really say too much about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, besides the main event, any other match you're excited for?
Don't take this the wrong way, but what I see with the little Total Divas match, with the little AJ and who was that? Bree, I think. Because nobody's really talking about it. This is what I'm seeing.